Hi, welcome tonight to Grieving Losses, a spiritual journey of faith and hope. I'm Becky Smith Gould, and I'm going to let Rebecca introduce
my name
herself.
is Rebecca Stallworth. So do you want to talk about yourself a little bit?
You go ahead if you
Oh,
want.
I go ahead. Okay. So I work with Becky at San Joaquin County Mental Health. We both have mental health, have been mental health condition for a long time. So we take care of our mental health patient, and also we deal with a lot of grief and loss issue in our past. So I am still working. I'm kind of like retired, but I'm not retired. I'm working. So basically, I'm working at VA in Sacramento. So I helping veterans deal with a lot of grief and loss issues. So it's more related to military. So I hope you enjoy the day, and we're going to talk about a lot of valuable information. So how about giving the time back to Becky?
Okay. So, as Rebecca said, we've worked together before and we've done trainings together before. But this is our first time doing something on YouTube, Facebook format, so it's different for us not looking at a room full of people and interacting. But that's sort of how this year has been, right? We're doing a lot of things differently.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about grief and loss, but I want to remind us all that we think of grief related to grieving the death of somebody that we cared for, and that definitely is right as a top in terms of the area of grieving. But there's lots of losses that we have in our life that we also grieve over, and we hope this presentation today will help you just as it helps me to go through the material. For instance, life circumstances, changes in health of ourselves or someone we care about. Also, we have chat available on both YouTube and Facebook. We will read the chat and we'll respond to some at the end, depending on our level of time. But we definitely want to remind you that this is not confidential, this is not a therapy group, and that this is public. So we just want to caution folks to not share too personally on this kind of a format. You're welcome to share something personal if you want, but not in a way that you might wish you hadn't shared as much. Okay, I hope that made sense. So we're going to move forward to the introductory slide, and we're going to talk about what grief is, the 5 stages of grieving losses, the healing journey as we go through the 5 grief stages, which of course can be circular, not necessarily linear. So creating a new life journey through acceptance and resilience. How you can help someone who is grieving. Tips for ourselves for how we grieve when we have a loss around the holiday season. And then we'll hopefully have time if there's any discussion through the chat, and then we'll close and say happy holidays to everybody. Okay. So a reminder for Ecclesiastes that to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Rebecca.
Okay, so what Becky said that everything have a time to be born, a time to be grieved, a time to moving forward. So it's part of the nature of the life. It's like a 4 season. So today I'm glad to share a poem about grieving. They compare to cutting of fingers. So grieving is a normal process. It's part of life. We're going to go grieving as long as we live, and we go for a lot of losses. And I don't think anyone not go for losses in your life, so otherwise not really living your life. So I just briefly go over the poem. Grieving just like crying when you hurt, sleeping when you're tired, and also it's a lateral way to healing your broken heart. When you lost something or lost someone, our heart is broken because our life won't be the same. So I think you heard about something say, die of broken heart. It's really true. I'm going to share some story if the time allow me to do it. And also, I want to go over a little bit about grieving. Why grieving, like cutting fingers? When you cut your finger and then you feel numb before you breathe. So you're breathing, the blood coming out, and then before you feel hurt. And then you feel hurt before you start to, until you're healing. So you're going to feel hurt for a while. You wash your hand, you feel hurt. But the feeling going to be gone. And then and then eventually you see a small scar over there, and then once the wound over there, and then it's healing part. But it's grieving is not just like cutting fingers so simple. I wish it would be. So grieving is the deeper wound you heal. So you go through stages. So what we talk about spiritual growth, spiritual healing is we do have a faith in God. We do have faith in our life path. So that's make us different in the grieving. When we have hope and faith, your grieving process is totally different. So we're going to go over the next slide. You want to help me out? Yes. So I will try to briefly jumping from point to point to point to point, but in case you have questions, I will go over a little bit deep later on. The second slide will be talk about what loss. Loss is mean that you break the bonding with the thing and the place and people you have been together for long times. So we bonding with it. We in our social work term or psychology or psychotherapy term, attachment. You attach the place, you attach the person. You're working a place for 30 years, now you retire, you grieve. You attach to your loved one for 30 years, the loved one passed away. So it's about how insensitive you're about attachment and decide how you're lost, grieving the loss. You may forget, you say, oh, I lost my cell phone. After a while, you buy another one. Some loss you will take time to get over. And also, I list out there's a couple levels affecting your life: spiritual level, physical level, emotional level, and financial level. So it's not just I lost. You will deal with all these levels in order to heal. Like I will point out something spiritual level. I heard about some other people share with me, I hate God. I don't like God take away my loved one. I don't know what I did wrong. So we lost the faith. We lost the sense of comfort. And then we lost the sense of purpose. And the physical level will be, I heard about from my friend talk about something that when you lost someone, you live in the same house, we go through a term called physical withdrawal. Like for example, you call like, you smoking time. After a while, you smoke again. Before your smoking time, you feel withdrawal. So what physical withdrawal means that your memory coming back. You feel that you kind of like you miss your loved one by your side. You miss sitting together to have a dinner together. So you go through those physical withdrawals. So for a while, until you get to the point that, yes, I think that I'm only one eating here. I'm only one sitting in this room. Emotional why, you have a lot of emotion, you don't sleep well. Financially why, you say, oh, I have to call Bank America. I have to call World Bank to close the account. I have to do this. So financially, how I can pay rent, how I can do this. So we also go for all this level. It's not grieving, just emotional. It's a lot of level, and body and mind and reality. And also gives a little bit definition about grieving. Grieving is the point that you acknowledge, I lost something. I break the bonding, and also you incorporate the loss. Now you're moving to a new phase of life. You have a new life again. You kind of like go through the normal. You set up your new normal, and also I want to mention about something that in our brain we have a system called grief and panic system. So when you lost something, even though lost a cell phone, you lost a loved one, whatever the losses you go through. We go through the psychological, your brain will identify there's a danger. So that's why we'll trigger off the grief and panic system. And then what happened? You start to feel sadness and grief and you want to cry. So it's like a biological process. You cannot fight it. You cannot beat it. You cannot say, I don't want it. It's the brain system. So you go through this with your faith and hope. And then the last one I talk about, everyone have right to grieve. You cannot compare, oh, I grieve so long, marital only take 3 months, I take 6 months, a year. There's no comparison. Every loss is different because every loss is how you feel about the significance of the loss. So don't compare that. You can grieve in 30 years, you still think about the thing you lost. So it's normal. Don't compare, just let yourself go through the process. Okay, next slide. Feel free to type in the questions. I'm going to focus on the 5 stages, how to heal from the stages, and I'm not going to read word by word, but I'm going to talk about how significant it is. And because we don't share about grief, we don't talk about talk to our friend about how the grieving process. So we were taught culturally, we share the good news. We don't call people and say, hey, I'm grieving right now. Are you listening to me? We don't. Sometimes we grieve alone and we don't know what we going through in grieving process is quite normal. It's it's not because we are crazy, not because we are something wrong. It's just a normal reaction to loss, something significantly. So the first stage will be denial. Next slide. Thank you, Becky. Denial means that I don't believe it's happening. It's so much happening. I don't think I'm lost someone. You're in the process of, it's kind of like you don't believe it happened. Actually, why denial is so important, it's a lateral way letting in only as much you can. When you lost something so important, someone you love so much in your life, your body system cannot take it. So denial help you to create a space for you to take in a little bit at a different time. So help you to move into next process. Denial is not something you're wrong. You have a big deal on your head, something wrong with you. So don't criticize yourself. Denial is a process. You ask whether it will happen. Oh no, my husband just go somewhere. Or okay, my son just maybe having a party outside, is not coming home. Or my mom maybe just don't returning my call. So we denial, we do that. It's a part of the protection psychological. So we feel meaningless, we feel overwhelming, life not making any sense. But whenever we all go through denial. It's normal. You're not sick. You're not mentally ill. No, you just go for a normal process. So after we telling our story many times, we call the bank, say, hey, I want to close my account because my mother passed away. Oh, you call the insurance company. Oh yeah, my mother passed away. I want to close the account. You call the hospital, take care of the insurance bill. You always repeating every day, every month, about someone, telling people someone passed away. And then you repeating the story and up to the point that you tell yourself so many times. And then you accept the reality. You say, yes, then denial will stop. You say, yes, I close the account, I close the insurance, I send the money to funeral home, I do this and do that. So it's kind of like you come to the reality, you're sinking in, denial process will phasing out. So let yourself doing it's kind of self-protection. Next one will be anger. Why anger will single out? Because after the denial, you say, okay, I survived it, and now it's true. But remember, one thing I really learned from my life experience and learned from my clients is, even though you know someone is going to pass away and you know someone is very sick for a long time, you never really learn how you feel until you really lost it. You will not know it. Just like everyone will say, hey, I divorce you, but you will know how divorce means when you really divorce and separation. So the real feeling coming in. So anger will be the one we'll have it because we angry. We say, Lord, I do a lot of good stuff. Why you take away my loved one? You're angry with yourself because, I argue with someone before someone passed away. Or I should not do this, otherwise I lost my job. So you're angry to yourself. So you will do that because we don't want anything happen. And you can angry with God, angry with family, angry with the society, angry with anything. So the angry help you, they tell you something is really important because numbing is a problem. You don't want to numb yourself because if you're numbing yourself, then you have to be really careful because if you don't let yourself feel, it won't heal. Just like your finger cut, you don't feel it, you don't heal. So it's emotion that part of to tell you I'm alive, I'm loving something, something is so important for me, that's why I feel angry. And also why it's so important because we have feeling of sadness, panic, hurt, under loneliness, under the angry. The angry is the emotion that we feel safe to deal with. And then so we think about that. We do have other emotion underlying the anger. And so we deal with it. So you know that. So you're going to have a lot of underlying emotion. Also, you feel the anger. It's okay to feel angry. So I single out the end. How you handle anger. When you handle anger, you don't criticize yourself. You let yourself feel it. And you let yourself know that because something is so important for you, someone you love so much, that's why you feel angry. So, and then you can do some coping skill. Becky will talk about more like walking, swimming, gardening. So help you give yourself outlet for anger. But don't criticize yourself, I'm an angry person. Anger is a normal reaction, and you just have anger feeling, but you're not an angry person. So I always mention to my client, you're not an angry person. Just handle with help, just let you have it. Having anger is okay, as long as you don't burn down the building. That's the only thing I say. Don't burn down the building. Okay. So I'm checking the time too, so I'm not means that distracting. I try to check the time. Okay, bargaining. And I know that we know what bargaining means. When we're shopping, we say, when someone offers some item for you, you will say $20, and then the person say, okay, $10. So we're bargaining all the time. So bargaining also part of the healing process in the grief. Bargaining means that you will ask yourself, what if only, what if question. You would say, if only I know the person's sick, I would take the person to the hospital. The person will be better. If I were home at that day, the person won't hurt themselves and then end up going to ER and then end up that have a lot of surgery and then end up in the hospital right now. If I only what if. So we always bargain because why we bargain so important, because no one likes to feeling the pain. When you feel the pain and the strong emotion, the bargain help you give up some power, but not real power. You just say, you give you a gap so you're able to keep the pain and the suffering at distance because you think I'm bargaining right now. Or you say, God, please, if I do all this, can you bring back my loved one? God, can you let my son live if I doing this? God, if I give up my 10 years to live, can you give my son a longer life to live? So we all bargaining. It's part of psychological protection. So it's normal. We are not crazy. So guilt is the one. We always, a company, when we meet with the client, would say, I did something wrong, I should not. If I stay at home, take care of the person won't be so sick. I should let the person stay in my house, the person left the house, end up hit by a car. So we have a lot of guilt, but remember, whatever happened, if you have faith in God, whatever happened is sometimes that mean to happen, or something that beyond our human can control it. It's something happened. So it's not we can control it. So my mother always say, oh, you think you're powerful, you can do something, change the world. No, the world is not circled around you. So guilt may not be the real guilt, but we all feel that way. So, but however, we will little bit with accepting the loss. We say, oh, I lost a cell phone. Oh, I lost my job. My loved one never coming home for a year. Oh, anniversary. There's no Christmas anymore. Okay, so you can come beat to beat. You say, okay, I know something is not coming back to me. So you can't pass on. You're not bargaining because there's nothing you bargain. So you need the bargaining period of time help you to stay healthy, help you to deal with the pain. Okay, next one. Thank you. My time is good, right? Okay. The second thing, when you're not bargaining, you say, okay, I cannot bargain with God. I cannot bargain with anything. I cannot bring anything back home. I cannot bring my job back. I cannot bring my relationship back. Whatever. The person left, say goodbye to me forever, or divorce me, whatever it is. So depression was sinking in because depression is kind of like, it's not sign of the mental illness. If you don't feel depressed, I will feel worried about you. I say a little bit about when my sister passed away, I'm not doing a lot of things take away at the time. And then my father would be the one I worry about because my father is numbing and not even though do anything, tell us, don't mention about my sister. So it just move on with life, go back to work. So worry about me, you don't go through depression. Depression is part of healing because you love something, you love someone, you lost something. So depression is normal reactions. So you feel empty. It's also depression help you. I want to single out the point number 4, significance of depression stage. Keep us protected by shutting down, because depression is not letting you shut down your nervous system. So you're able to feel it, keep you alive. when you shut down, that's a problem. When you shut down means you not feel anything. You're not healing. You're not learning anything. So depression keep you alive, keep you feel something, keep you feel that you're normal. You reaction to the loss. So so normal depression is part of the, we feel that, as long as the depression don't leading to suicide, don't leading to other unhealthy behavior or something, you know something wrong. So actually, we will feel depressed for a while, and then we will figure out how to set up a, restructure our life. Depression may be stopped, maybe come back and forth. So one thing I want to mention about that, when depression, the more normal, the most physical, we will have a problem with physical immobility. So Becky will talk about how to keep yourself moving. So when you're not moving your body, doing some cooking, eating, walking, and doing some moving your body, your depression will last longer. So I read a statement really, really helped me, called silence kills the spirit. When you're not doing anything, it will killing your spirit. So we try to move our body. We try to do exercise. We try to going out, connect with friends. So that depression will help the depression to handle at that time. Okay, next one. I'm not moving too fast, right? Okay. The last one, that's the one that we call number 5. So, but remember, the 5 stages is not just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you go through that. Sometimes you go through bargaining and you're going through denial. And then you go through bargaining again, you feel depression. And then you go through denial again. No, it's just a nightmare. When I get up, my mother will be here calling me. So you always, my son is not go away. Oh, I have my job back. My boss will call me back. I'm so important right now. I cannot be replaced. So you will go through the process back and forth. It's normal. And then even though you go through 5 processes, you build your new life. When things happen in your life, you go through the 5 processes again. So this one, just like you will never end in your life, you go through that. So acceptance. Acceptance means that you accept the reality. You learn to live with the losses. You know that the thing is not coming back. Your job is not coming back. Your wife is divorced you. The husband is go away. Your son is not coming back. So you know the reality sinking in. You're no longer bargaining. Then at this time you say, what should I do? So this one we talk about spiritual healing. Then if you have faith and hope, you will pray. You say, God, please guide me through this. Please show me the way. I'm no longer controlling my life. I surrender. So when you're able to quiet, calm your mind, you will take one step at one time. You will see your path, get out, go to a new path, and your new life is coming. So the faith is coming in because I believe that at this point, when you're grieving so much or significant grieving, we have to depend on your spiritual belief. Otherwise, you will not get through it because we are able to do it. We're an emotional being. So acceptance, we know that we cannot keep the past. And then when you get to that stage, you're living in the present rather than living in the past because the past no longer come back. Especially, I know that when someone lost someone, you donate the clothes, you move the furniture, you move the table, you move the chair, you're cooking for yourself, you do all this stuff, no one call you again, your mother won't call you again. So you know it's sinking in. So you know that you kind of like, you try to be living a new life. You have friends, you have family member to help you, friends help you. Your life is totally different. So you have a new normal. One thing that I learned something in my loss is that I learned to be fixing my stuff in the house because I cannot just fix my restroom. I try to look at the YouTube and then I fix it. And if I cannot do that, I will have a list of handymen to call. So I list out all the stuff. So because the one that usually do the handyman thing is gone, so I led my new life, and I know that I need to keep a list of people for rescue me. So someone will drive me around, someone will talk to me, someone will cheer me up. So your life totally new, and you have welcomed new friend to your life. Some friend you hasn't really close to, or someone you haven't really contact. You very close relationship. You will have a new life. So as long as you welcome, God show you the way, how to live your life, how to welcome people, and people will show up to help you. You just have to open your door. Otherwise, you won't see those people. Becky will be the one helping me because, yeah. So you just welcome the spiritual guidance show you, and then accept the help. So, and then you try to put your life will be new life. You live normal, new routine, and you will do new thing Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you celebrate holidays different. Of course, you don't like it, but doesn't mean that It's not a live life, but we all live full life. We always have go through this 5 stages. Okay. Sounds like I'm on time. Okay. So this one is helping me. Rob is helping. Thank you. So he's got sent to help me to get my time straight. I like this poem because I got it when I cleaning up the stuff, clean up my house, and I like it. This really like it because no one stay here forever with you, and you cannot rely on people to help you all the time, and no one stay in your life to help you forever. So God will send different people to your life to help you, and then you just open, and no one have obligation to help you for the rest of your life. So the poem will say, some people come to your life and quickly go. And some stay for a while and leave a footprint. So I have people, I would never forget the life lesson I learned, and I learned a lot. And we'll never be the same. So we keep learning things from the people in our life, and God will send people to us, but we don't know how long He stay. We will learn from someone, and I always learn something. Someone make you angry, someone make you nervous, someone teach you how to be patient, so those people will stay until you learn, they will go. And someone will teach you how to become a better person, and then once you learn, and you have to practice how to live your life, so the people will go. So we also, someone teacher too, so it's both way. I want to cover a little bit spiritual growth through the 5 stages. If you let yourself flow with the 5 stages and with your faith and welcome the resources, welcome the people come to your life to help you, you will go through much easier and you become a better person. So the first one I want to focus on spiritual growth. When you go through the 5 stages, you learn how to be important to living in the present, because we always worry about the past, we always worry about the future. So the present is the only one you have, only thing you have. So you try to live your life as it is. The second thing that I learned the spiritual growth is the value of the time and value of relationship, because the present is only you have. So if you have loved one in your life or something that you really treasure, you enjoy the most you can, you tell your loved one, I love you, or you spend the time with the people significant for you and show love to your friend, helping your friend. Just like Laurie always say, love your neighbor. So you have to show your love. God wants us to love someone in your life. So you will know that time is not always there. You treasure the live in the present, treasure the relationship, and also you embrace changes, because life will go through changes. No one stay the same. We won't stay the same. People won't stay in your life. You won't have the thing you have in your life, you're going to lose. It won't stay with you. It's God give it to you to navigate your life for a period of time. So you lost it, and God wants you to shake it up and then move on again. So you won't have the same thing again. So you have bravery to change, because you know that you cannot control. We got control freaks sometimes. So you have to let the higher power to guide you. The last one is the need to belong, because people in life come and go, so we have new friends with family. We have to open our door to connect with people, and also we have to connect with people, keep our connection, because relationship is nurturing and love and care. So we need the support. So this is all the things you can learn through spiritual growth. You learn through 5 stages. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy. I just want to speak up from my mind. So, okay, take it over, Becky. Hopefully I don't talk too fast.
You're doing fine. All right. And it's 1 minute to 6. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to thank you, Rebecca. Good reminders for me always. And so how to help a grieving person. And so I guess I just want to back up and say that preparing for this presentation, I don't think that there's any information in this that's completely new to anybody, but it's so good to have reminders, just as it is to have reminders about God's love. And I want to thank you, Rebecca, for helping me remember that at times that I've been low. Thank you. Okay, so how to help a grieving person. First of all, just be present. Now, obviously, during a pandemic, we can't always be present physically with each other, but so, we can text, we can email, we can phone call, we can FaceTime, you can send a card. There's ways that we can be present with somebody without being in the same room, at least during this year. And when I say this year, obviously it's not all ending December 31, but it's close. Okay, being a good listener. So just sometimes, I know for me, I want to talk or jump in or start thinking about an important point that I want to make when the other person's talking, even though supposedly we're professional listeners, right? But just remember to sit back and let the person talk if they want to. And that's a key point too, if they want to. Encouraging independence. Sometimes, or I should say at some point, each of us is maybe ready to move on, but we might be nervous about trying something new. So we can be a support to somebody to help them be able to get back into a daily routine. And being patient, because it's important it takes time to accept the loss and deal with changes, and I think it's important to know that there's not a right way or a wrong way to grieve losses. I think of it, at least in my life, like a bunny hop. I mean, sometimes I think I'm doing good, and this is probably a dated reference for those, but I think so far from looking at chat, everyone who's listening will know what I mean by the bunny hop. You take 3 steps forward and then 2 steps back, and then you do a couple of things off to the side and off to the side, and then you hop 3 forward again. So we don't just keep going forward. Sometimes we back up a little bit or move around. So it's okay. Be patient about that. Okay. Other ways, and boy, I used way too small of a font for this page, but anyway, okay, ask about the other person's experience. Because each person's grief is their own. I might have lost a parent and you might have lost a parent, but that doesn't mean that how we're responding to it is the same. Or how I've responded during the COVID-19 crisis might be different from how you've responded. It's okay. It's how we each deal with it. Also, we can have good experiences and bad experiences happen in our life kind of at the same time, and that's okay. It's okay to feel some joy at a time that you're also grieving. So we need to give ourselves permission, I think, for that. Maybe that's sometimes why it helps us when we talk about a funny story about somebody that we're missing, because we're missing them, but we can also have humor help us through. Being in the present moment. I talked about being present for the person, so just also helping the person just be where they are. Rebecca actually just referenced the importance of the presence. A lot of times we want to jump in and fix things for the other person. So I think, if anything, if you're not sure what to do, ask the person if they want you to help problem solve, or do they want you to just listen or be empathetic? Because I know I tend to jump in sometimes, but I also know on the receiving end, sometimes I don't want someone to fix it. I just want to just sort of talk. Okay. The other thing is, I know I often say when I'm worried about or caring for my friends, well, what can I do to help? How can I help you? Being on the receiving end of that, I appreciate that so much, but it's hard to know what to say. Like, can you bring me spaghetti next Tuesday? I don't know. So sometimes it helps when people just think on their own of ways to help, but also it's okay for the other person to say, no, I'm fine. I really, I don't need spaghetti next Tuesday. So be open to what works for the other person, but you might think about what are things that you could do. And it's important for us to remember children who might be grieving losses. Like right now, kids are grieving not being present in school, maybe, or being able to play with the other kids. And if they have experienced a death or a serious illness in their family, then they're grieving that. But sometimes we just focus on the parents or the adults. Okay. So, how do we take care of ourselves, especially during the holiday season, although these tips, frankly, can fit for any time of the year. So one is to acknowledge your own feelings. It's okay for us to feel sad and to have some grief. It's okay to honor a loss. And, in some ways, again, this year, the loss of not being able to get together with others at the holidays. So we're making some new, I won't say traditions, because I may not do the same thing next year, but we just find other ways to honor the loss, but just to do something a little bit differently. But maybe honoring the person that you're not able to be with, either because of death or illness or because of the current pandemic. Okay, find some way for yourself to put meaning and joy into the season. Give yourself permission to try the holidays in a new way. I think a lot of people are saying, I'm decorating anyway, and I've decorated since July. And others are saying, I'm not even putting up decorations this year. And it's okay. Do it however works for you, especially this year. Doing something for others, I know that helps me to kind of get out of my own self-pity, is to move and to do something for others. But also remember, it's a gift to allow others to help you. So you can give, but it's also okay to accept what others are wanting to give. It's also okay to say no when you need to. Like, I appreciate you wanting to call and talk with me, but I'm at a place right now where I kind of need to be alone. Or no, I can't help you with this right now, but maybe I can next week. Anyway, it's okay to say no. I was teasing earlier about when Rebecca said, do you want to do a presentation? But I'm glad we're doing it. I'm glad we're doing it now. I'm always glad later that I say yes. Okay. Other ways we can take care of ourselves. Reach out, spend time with people who are supportive and care about you, but of course do it online or on the phone this year, maybe, unless it's with others in your own household. It's okay to sleep, exercise, play, laugh, pray, meditate. I know I like to take my dogs out for a walk and just listen to the birds. That, for some reason, is very helpful for me. Sometimes it's okay to think about what we do miss and just acknowledge it. It also is helpful to think about what you don't miss. And that can be true when you're grieving somebody that you love that's not in your life anymore, but also just other things. What do you miss or don't miss about being able to go to work or to be in the classroom or to be at a party this time of year? There's things you miss, there's things you don't, and it's okay to acknowledge both. It's really important to remember that it's okay to seek professional help when you need to. I know that there are times when we all might need to seek out, whether that be a support group, a helpline, talking to your doctor, seeing a therapist. There are many ways to seek out help, and it's okay. Just like we all need to for our physical health, we need to for our mental health as well as our spiritual health. Get help for your health. Okay. All right. So speaking of spiritual health, I looked up hope in the scriptures, and as well as grieving and losses, and there were so many scriptures that I didn't list all of them. I just put a few up here, but just reminding us that God does comfort us. I know we don't always, we're not always maybe open to realizing that, but later on we realize, okay, I got through that with help. And for me, many times God shows up through family or friends or animals, just, others who help bring some lightness to my load. So Weeping may remain for a night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Okay. Rebecca.
So, okay, it's on now. So Becky is right. So we just have to believe this. There's hope and faith. As long as you believe, I can make it going through, and it will help. Just take one day at one time. So I kind of like, we want to do a little bit meditation, relaxation, breathing exercise. I use that with veteran at the VA hospital, because really help, because they go for a lot of trauma, go for a lot of losses. So beyond what we knew as a civilian. So I'm going to do very brief. So one thing we're doing is, I hope I don't need the microphone to be okay, right? Okay, so, or maybe Becky help me to demonstrate. Okay, so we're going to put one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. Okay, so because when we are under stress, grieving, we are not really breathing. When we sadness, hurt, so we do shallow breathing. We won't take in oxygen deep enough in our body. So usually when you're able to do a deep breathing, a relaxation breathing technique, you calm your body, you're able to grounding yourself, and then you're able to mindfulness, so you're able to go through the grief process easier. So we're going to just take a couple of deep breaths, but I want you to make sure that when you do take a deep breath, make sure your chest rise, your belly is rising, and in, and then out. And Becky, very good. So when you when you're breathing out, you're using a mouth, and then you remember that all the maybe just tension, like a dark smoke coming out of your body. So we do it again. So make sure you monitor your body. You're not do shadow breathing. So we do another one. And then out, relax. So we do one more, and then you will feel better. We do one more. So that's a very simple. So the next one, we do a little bit counting. So we call holding technique. So we breathing in, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and we out, we hold 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure your oxygen get inside your body, relax your body. So I'm counting the number. So Becky, breathe in, hold it, 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do one more time. 1, hold it, 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 1, 2, 3, 4. So because when you're able to do the simple breathing technique, you're telling your body you're not in danger, you just go through breathe, you go through grieving, something lost in life, you just keep your body healthy and relax your body. That's the way that you can do it without anyone helping you. Okay, so exercise is over. Becky hit it.
I feel so relaxed now. Thank you.
Don't fall asleep. I need you.
Okay, so I'd like to lead us in a prayer. Oh God, you are with us always, even when we may feel hopeless. We have faith. We can draw strength from you along our life and our spiritual journey. We thank you for giving us joy even when we're not happy, especially sometimes during the holiday season and during this year with the pandemic. We thank you for the peace and light that you give us. Even during our darkest times, we know there's light. With hope and faith, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
So we're looking at the chat box?
Yeah, you just want to have this up, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we talk about is that I love these two one. I want to including in the PowerPoint. The grief is great. I give myself another permission to grieve at their own pace, because there's no comparison. So whatever you lost is different by my loss, how long I grieve. And I remember I talked to one of the VA doctor. Her father passed away more than 40 years, long time. He said, I'm still grieving every day, Chinese New Year grieve. So you're going to miss the person. So recognize all the people are different in the journey for healing. So it's only thing is common that we have faith, we trust our higher power, we let others heal, take one day at one time, one moment at one time. So we give ourselves another grace, acceptance, compassion, and kindness on the grieving journey. So we embrace it because we have to go through changes. No one stay the same. No one with you all the same. You won't have the same job. You won't live in the same house. So everything go through changes. We let ourselves to go through the grief, embrace it, and that every time you learn something new, you become a better person. So the other one is like the footprint. I think will be very famous. But remember, when we get to emotional, we don't believe God is here to help us. Actually, He's standing by. I remember I listened to one of the preaching from YouTube, another minister talk about that. Actually, as long as we open the door, the God coming in, the door will sit in the back seat. If you want to keep being a driver, do your way. God was standing by, but be patient with you. But He never leave you. Yeah.
Are you saying he's a backseat driver?
No, because sometimes we refuse to get help. God will give us the free will to choose. Yes. So, but He was standing by, sitting on the big seat, standing by with the passenger seat. So when you say, I really want you take the wheel, He will jump, He will go over, take the wheel. So you have to surrender because sometimes we are very stubborn. Yeah. We want the way we are, but our way may not be the best way. Our way may be just we want to keep the thing the same. That's what we do. We keep the thing the same.
Amen.
Okay.
Okay. So we wanted to review the chat, and let's see. This is.
I write down two things here, Becky.
Yeah. One is there. Well, first of all, hi Denise, Margie, Lonnie, Tosh. And I know there was a question from Tosh. Did you get?
Yeah,
get
I write down what Tosh write down. Tosh write down dealing with loneliness, how we can handle loneliness and social distancing. I think we all feel lonely and social distancing, so we have a new normal. So I just share my experience and learn is that I always tell myself I'm not alone because I always have a high power with me, so I'll never be alone. So of course we want a human being, and also I set up the time. So call some friend, and I check with some friend from other country like Singapore, and I text my brother. So I also call some coworker. So I kind of I using the technology. So and also I know that being alone can be very good because we had to be in a lot of social distraction before the pandemic. Sometimes I learn a lot about myself, so I think loneliness can be a good thing, learn about ourselves. So, and also I will set up some time that connect with people through Zoom meeting. Sometimes I bake some cookie, I go to my friend's house, I say, I'm not talking to you, but I leave outside your door, you pick up the cookie. So that depends how you deal with the loneliness. Social distancing, I go hiking, but I'm not gathering with people. So we can always do something how to deal with the loneliness and grieving. But so I think that's a way how to deal with. I don't know how, Becky, you have some idea?
Yeah, I think you're on the right track, and others are welcome. In fact, I think some have added in the chat. I know I have a couple of regular Zoom calls with some friends. Like one is on a weekly basis and another is on a monthly basis. Yeah. And I've gone on a couple of social distance walks with others where we are apart from each other and masked, but we at least we're outside. And I see some comments. Lonnie says accepting help from others was really hard, so I know others actually. If anybody has some other ideas, typing them in. But I think some people have been learning new skills, like cooking, or
become a chef.
My husband is not able to cook anymore because of his medical condition. So I'm having to learn how to cook because for 31 years, he's been the cook. cook.
So you're the chef now.
So I'm having to learn, just like you're learning how to be a repair woman.
Yeah.
And I'm learning a little bit
Watch
about
the
that
YouTube
too.
to
So
repair the thing.
I don't know that those are new hobbies, but we're learning new skills. But I know some other people have joined, like a cooking group or a book. I was in a book. I'm in a book club, regular book club, and then I also joined one that was through the church for a while. So let's see. Are there some others?
Can I say a little bit about help? So I usually was stubborn. I don't need help, but now I changed because since the pandemic, teaching me how important to get your social circle. Now we're so alone, everything is just not normal. So I learned that. So getting help is a good thing because that's how we are created to be a social being. So we are mutual helping each other, give and take, give and take. So I think that if I changing myself, I say yes. But also I remind myself, I'm going to offer the help back to the community. That's why I was so bold to do the YouTube today.
And that's good.
I feel nervous doing that. And also, I heard a story. Can I say a little bit story because I using story in.
And we
in
have
the
some
group.
responses too. But yes.
Okay. The story will be there's a man because there's a flooding in the area. The man is was getting warning from the government. You have to evacuate. The man don't. So say God will help me. God will help me. End up the water is getting to the roof. The man is climbed the roof, and then the man keep praying to God. Can you help me? Can you help me? So there's a guy kind of like approaching the man with a boat to say, "Sir, do you want to come down to my boat? It's really get the water high. So I'm leaving right now, picking up my family. Do you want to get in the boat?" The man say, "No, God will come here to help me. No, God don't want me to have faith." And then the man go, and then another one, a pastor coming, a firefighter coming. He say, "Sir, do you want to come down? This is our last round here. We're picking a lot of people. So do you want to come with us?" And then the man said, "No, God said that God will help me. God will help me. No, I'm waiting for God." And then the man keep waiting. The water keep above the roof. And then the man prayed to God, and then God suddenly say, "Yeah, I'm here." They say, "God, why you don't save me? I'm a good person. I help a lot of people, And God say, "No, because I sent 2 people to helping you. You keep saying no. So what you want me to do?" And I send people to help you. So I think that God wants us to connect with each other, helping each other. And I remember when I was cleaning up my house, and suddenly a man showed up outside the door, say, "Ma'am, do you want me to pay me $10 to clean your yard?" I said, "Yes." And then I got another guy show up someday. I just came out from a mailbox. The guy is kind of like picking up the junk thing from my neighborhood. And I talked to the guy. I have some junk thing need to pick up. I pray to God. I say, "God, can you find someone to pick up my junk?" And I say, "Oh, this is what God said." And I asked the guy, "Do you pick up my junk? You can sell it." The guy said, "Yes." So I think that we just have to open my eyes. So it's not going to send people to us. So that's called faith and hope. So we have to accept the help. I'm learning it. That's the story ending.
We don't always recognize that God is all around us in other people. Yeah, I see some comments here. I think that Denise says she enjoys talking with elders that can't get out. And Denise, I know that is a true gift of yours, that you call and check in on other people, and that's a way kind of giving out to help ourselves. And getting others to tell fun stories of their past lifts our spirits, and that's true as well. So I think, helping others helps us, but also I think touching on sometimes it's hard for me to accept help, and yet that's really denying the other person the opportunity when they want to help me, and I don't always. I say, "Oh, no, that's okay. But it helps me, and it helps the other person sometimes to accept that. So
yes.
Okay.
And I share a little bit thing. I always pray before I go to work. I say, "God, please help send the people I can help today at VA. Also send the resources. If I dial a phone, I can help people get housing, get money, get diapers, so I would do it." So I pray every day. So I'm really lucky to have all the resources. People send an email to me suddenly from nowhere. "I have some gift card. Can you find someone to give away?" So I think that that's the faith and hope that God may not show, I'm a God, I'm here help you. So they would send people to help you. So we have to accept the gift. This is the gift. I think I share enough. Okay.
That's good. So
Almost?
I just want to be mindful of our time and see if there's any. And Rob, maybe we want to say thank you to Rob, by the way, our tech crew here in the background, who's always humble, but we appreciate it. So Lonnie says, thanks for making that font bigger. With the loss by proxy, ongoing news of deaths, losses, life struggles of people, and so many medical and other care workers because of COVID compounds our grieving process. It's true. It's like watching the news about war or hurricanes or fires, and with the COVID, it's just been every night you think, oh my gosh, can it get any worse? So we need to remember to apply the self-care and caring for others because it does seem like we can get overwhelmed easily. Yeah. So. Okay. So I think Lonnie's also saying this is normal for the abnormal time we are living, and that's actually something I used to say when I would in some groups of what we're experiencing are normal reactions to abnormal situations. Yeah. So
and I always believe we can learn something we may probably haven't learned before pandemic also shaking it up.
Yeah.
And
we have learned. I have learned. There's a lot of things that have actually been positive for me. Yes. I won't say for the situation, but we learn through adversity. So,
yeah. I think as long as you have faith and something you feel that some what I'm learning from, take a positive attitude, and with help and prayer, we get through it.
So we want to thank you for joining us, and thank Rob for helping us put this presentation together. Yes. Rebecca, thank you for asking me, and I'm glad I said yes, even though I said earlier I wished I'd said no. I'm glad I said yes. And we encourage you to take care of yourselves. Know that God loves you, and that we are surrounded with light of hope. I guess a reminder here that Mayfair Christian Church is available. We have, I don't know, the slide just went away, but thank you, Cousin Michael, for joining us too, and Janice. I'm starting to feel like Romper Room. I don't know if you remember that, where they used to. So we have Sunday morning and Thursday afternoon chats and service. And again, we thank you so much, and happy holidays.
Yes, and enjoy life.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.